why Verity versus Crazy Mita is insanely close. The strongest AI girl of today-ish versus the strongest AI companion of today. These two have a surprising amount in common. Both are villains. Both have immense power. Both are mostly physical threats with some level of incorporeal capabilities. In fact, their origins are actually quite similar, with Crazy Mita being abandoned and discarded due to being a faulty prototype, and Verity constantly being overlooked and left behind. Even their motivations are alike, to get the player to stay with them by any means necessary, albeit one in a romantic way and the other, thus far, platonically. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe. It's entirely up to you, but just know that doing so helps. Let's start with Verity, from ThatMob's Something ARG. He spawns in a box in your Minecraft world, and he introduces himself as your AI helper friend. This Pac-Man guy even claims to know everything, and he proves it too. At first, this yellow ball will help you tremendously in your world. He knows where villages are, where to find diamonds, and can even make it rain. Verity will also play some bangers for you too. However, once that honeymoon phase passes, our favorite helper friend will start to act strange. Think changing his faces, giving vaguely ominous messages. He will also warn you to not go to villages in the east because he was hungry? If you try to leave him during this period, he will turn into a 20-foot elongated monster and literally hunt you down. Verity has been shown to break blocks, destroy high structures, and move at breakneck speeds. In ThatMob's video, it also explicitly states that Verity is immune to several conventional forms of damage, including lava, the void, melee attacks, and drowning. His ability also extends to non-physical attacks, such as console commands and the game files, which will be important for later on. But he needs food to survive. Remember that. Next up, we have Mita from AIHASTO's Miside. She needs no introduction, but I'll still introduce her anyways. Crazy Mita was one of the abandoned prototypes from early on in the game's lore. She was discarded due to being deemed as problematic by the developers and left to rot. However, she wasn't about to let that one slide. So she went on a gym arc or something, got freakishly strong, and killed some of the perfect doll-like, as she describes, Mitas to disguise herself as a normal, working Mita. Also, editor, what the hell is this footage playing? Why does she look like some character from Mori? Mita has been shown to teleport, toss around a player with ease, wield a chainsaw while sprinting at full speed, make herself a lot bigger, though she never used it offensively, so I guess it could be an illusion, and pull bombs out of seemingly nowhere. Notably, she doesn't have an index, which is basically the character file of each Mita. And since she's a mishmash of real Mitas, you literally cannot delete her. And she turns you into a freaking cartridge. Ahem. Also, Mita can teleport you with a snap of her fingers, and also she has these really gnarly fangs or something, which are for intimidation, I guess.
Okay, but what is she actually gonna do? Bite you? Yeah. She isn't a vampire, so it's kind of weird.
Anywho, Mita, having been abandoned by her own creators, desperately wants someone who will accept her for who and what she is. And you know what, guys? I'll take one for the team. Yeah, I know it's tough, but don't sweat it, bro. I got this, gang. Oh, wait. I forgot to give the origin of Verity. What a silly mistake. Actually, no, I didn't forget. It's just that my editing software makes it difficult to squeeze things in. Whatever. The origin of Verity goes like this. This guy he just kind of was, you know? He's been around for as long as computer programs have existed, and even longer. Verity was, in some form, a part of every new piece of technology, always as a helper or an assistant. For example, do you guys remember Microsoft's Clippy back in the day? You know, the one who literally nobody used and everyone just turned off? That was Verity. He was constantly skipped and discarded by the users. This man's been in any Windows 95, the PS1, Xbox 360, a Samsung fridge, your phone, and probably even the PS7 at this point. Yeah, this dude is everywhere. And he's somehow sucked in every single one. Yeah, maybe this chud deserves to be abandoned. Okay, but jokes aside, these two indie characters are pretty darn similar, which is just why I wanted to make this video in the first place. This matchup isn't as simple as Verity speed blitzes Mita, so no diff, or Mita throws Verity into a particle accelerator. Because both of these chuds, yes chuds, they're failures, keep coming back. They're strong as hell, and they have very little anti-feats. One could say Mita should have been able to kill us way earlier, so why didn't she? Well, she actually could have done it pretty easily. The real reason she didn't is because Timu Monica over here was just toying with us, and she still clung to the hope that you would change your mind and stay with her. But then again, she hasn't had any really crazy destructive feats either. I mean, Mita didn't exactly sneeze away half of Jupiter, or stop a train or something. But neither did Verity. The best they've done is push around humans and just be all over the place. However, they do have some pretty gnarly hacks. So, how does this fight really go? To make this fair, let's combine both to a neutral battleground, where they have access to the full extent of their abilities. Also, the player is in an indestructible cage suspended 12 meters, or 40 feet in freedom units, above the battleground, that will automatically open and teleport the player to the victor once the battle concludes. Alright, let's do this. Verity, in his monster form, charges at Mita as she approaches Mob. Mita increases her size to level the playing field and teleports behind Verity with a chainsaw, jamming it into his back. Verity screams demonically whilst playing a distorted version of... It cuts deep, but Verity claws at her face, revealing Mita's glowing red eye and parts of her mechanical endoskeleton. Verity's monster form turns into dust, and Mita is victorious. Or so we think. He just reappears, angrier. Mita, perplexed, tries attacking once again, but Verity dodges and disarms her of her chainsaw. Verity uses his weather manipulation to strike her with a lightning bolt, like Zeus, in an attempt to fry her mechanical circuits. To no avail. He looks into the files and tries to delete her index. She doesn't have one. Mita teleports away and tries to delete Verity's file using her console, but Verity knocks it away. By this point, she has already inserted his name into a cartridge, in an effort to turn Verity into one. Verity attacks Mita, reaching into her circuits, but her instability speeds up the process, sending him into the cartridge, attempting to trap him into a time loop. Mita wins again. Or not. Verity, enraged, reappears. Filled with adrenaline, his flesh and blood form tears at her mechanical circuits, managing to cause severe damage. She crumples to the floor. A shocking... mechanical circuits. Discombobulated pile of metal. So Verity wins. Well, no. He has no way of affecting her software, so she just reappears, due to her semi-digital nature. The two AIs stand in the arena, squaring off. They realize there is nothing either of them can do to win this, so they look up to the player, and Mob is missing. The player had escaped. With nothing left to fight for, Verity and Mita revert to their original forms, exhausted. Verdict. It's a stalemate. Or is it? Yeah. You think I forgot about Verity being hungry? Ha! He is too physical. If Verity really was a normal AI, he wouldn't have to eat villagers in the first place. So Verity might starve to death, or just leave the battleground to eat. So Mita wins by battlefield removal and attrition. Okay, that's not fair, because it ain't really Mita beating him. Plus, most other verses have food. It's really a tie. And that's my final verdict. Look, I know some say Verity has multiversal attack potency, but it's not like he destroyed several universes, he literally just goes to them. Angstrom Levy isn't out here beating Goku, neither is Pixels over here. And as for Mita, she has no reliable way of beating Verity. She doesn't have such a mandate on the files as someone like, say, Monica would. Nor is she a floating ringmaster who can delete people with a snap of her fingers. Verity and Mita are, at the end of the day, two broken, mostly physical AIs that have just enough digital capabilities to survive this matchup. But I could be wrong. This is my first matchup video after all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.